These are random divorce statistics. And I heard the first one, and I was like, oh, I want to talk about that with you. And I think after you hear it, you'll be like, oh, interesting. And then I figured we could react to the rest too.
I'm very interested because the title of this channel is the Florida Advice. Florida Divorce Help. So,
ooh. All right, let's do it.
A couple of random divorce statistics that may
mic check real quick.
I'm talking.
Surprise you. Here we go. Number 1, did you know if you work from home, you're less likely to get divorced?
I thought that was interesting.
Yes,
because we've had this conversation before where you say that you're happy that I work from home because you feel like if I worked with women that there might be like an issue.
Oh yes, I forgot we had this conversation in detail the other day.
Because you said to me, and I didn't realize this, you said that you're very flirty.
Yeah, you're a flirty
I don't
guy.
even realize it. And like I was like, oh, am I really?
And I don't think that you realize how, and this isn't just because like I obviously like you because I married you, but I don't think that you realize like how women like you.
I don't think women like me.
But think about it. What of my friends aren't into you?
I don't know. What do you mean?
Literally, like everybody is.
I know John is into me. He's a gay guy.
Mm-hmm.
But like gay guys love me. Who else is into me? I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I'm not gonna be naming names here.
Now I could use the ego boost.
No, you don't need the fucking ego boost.
I can use the ego
boost. Bring that ego right down.
Wait.
Just keep in mind I have like 3 friends.
Wait. Okay. Wait. How many of them are attracted to me?
I think I could. Well, I said I have 3 friends. There's like 3 people that I know I think are like have a thing.
Can I say their names?
No. But anyways,
I mean, I'm okay. I feel it. But
I think that you are a person who women would easily like.
Why? I'm fat. I'm bald. What is
you're tall? You're handsome. You got the blue eyes and the beard.
Yeah, I guess
you're very charismatic. You're very like helpful. Like the example I gave you. Like if you saw every day, like some fucking woman was like struggling every day to open the door, you're gonna go out of your way to always help her open that door if you see her going into it.
Yeah, I guess.
You know,
that's
and that's
normal.
a very nice thing.
That's a normal thing. You're supposed to do.
But then you mix in how like you're handsome and you're nice. You'll have casual conversation. I think if you worked in a place, there would be at least 1 to 2 women who would have a thing for you, and they might interpret that you have a thing for them. And I don't think that I'm wrong. I don't think that it's just because I love you.
No, you might be right. It's interesting because I made like a little bit of a half joke, but like half real statement the other day while I was watching on my channel, the Papa Guy channel. For those of you who somehow don't know. Where it was like a video about black pills, all bullshit. But I said, I think one of the reasons why women like married men, like flirtatiously and whatnot, is because married men, at least ones that aren't looking for dating, that when they're being nice to a woman, it's genuine rather than performative niceness to try to fuck them. And so maybe that would be part of it too, is that like if I am apparently a little flirty, which I guess I am, and I'm being genuinely nice, then that communicates that, you know, I actually think that I'm interested in them. To them, it would indicate that.
Or you would just be desirable.
What do you mean?
Too.
Because I got a big dick. I don't have okay. Interesting. But I thought this was an interesting conversation here. And I want to say, I think this is more of a man thing because women have an easier time being loyal than men.
And like,
in my opinion, at least.
And yesterday I was laughing because I was at the party and my mom was like, oh, what is your husband doing? And I was like, I don't know what he's doing because he's obviously not working yet. And then I was like, I get to watch him work. I got eyes on him all the time.
Yeah, that's true. I'm not even just working from home. I'm a streamer.
Yeah, I love it. I literally, when I'm at work, I just pop in like, oh, what is he doing?
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting.
Okay. Cool. All right. Well, that was interesting. The first one. Let's see. Keep going.
Number 2, if you have lost a lot of weight since getting married, it increases your likelihood of getting divorced.
So I knew that one. It's like if the person who loses the weight is the one that has the higher likeliness of breaking it. Well, we wouldn't have that problem.
I think it depends on the situation. Like I never thought, like, I've never like thought of an actual statistic, but this makes
I think that
complete
there's
sense
a
to me.
weight loss statistic out there. I don't remember the specifics. I don't care to look it up. But there's a high, like, I think there's a high chance for if one of the people gets weight loss surgery and loses a significant amount of weight, that they will get divorced within like 5 years or something.
That's
And
so sad.
I saw a person, I'm not going to be specific. They were at an event, a show, some people would call it, with a person that wasn't their significant other, and they were in an open relationship.
Not open relationship, not confirmed.
Oh shit! I'm just saying. I think open relationships, a lot of times people will use that to subsidize their shit.
100%.
But I understand like 50-year-old or 60-year-old couples that are like, oh, we're 50 or 60, you know. But I don't get like 30, 40, you know. But
just married.
Yeah, just married. It's one thing, like, yeah, I've been with this person for 20 years, blah 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 blah. Like maybe that's one thing, but just married, it's a little rough. I mean, I feel like, what the fuck? But anyway, what were we saying?
How losing weight impacts your divorce.
Yeah, I feel like it increases your confidence, and you have a higher chance of wanting to go and snoodle around, you know? Snoodle
yeah,
that noodle.
this is. I lost my fidget
Thank
cube.
God. I'm getting a headache.
So I think, like, from like my thoughts is that from what I've seen, it's almost like it makes me wonder if the people who like lost the weight, like when they were big, if like they settled for their partner, you know.
I think that gets into a big conversation of like what it means to settle, because I think that everybody is in a different space when they get married. There's multiple aspects that will shape your decision, and I think weight is possibly the only changeable aspect of you, kind of. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because
And
like
so,
if like you
yeah.
lose weight and you turn into a shitty person, like that shitty person was always in you, just waiting to come out.
Right, but now that you weigh less, maybe people
Like, you
treat
feel more
you differently.
confident.
So there's a whole conversation. It kind of does make sense. You know, you change and whatnot, I guess. You know, that's like almost weird, a really complicated conversation to have. It's like there's so many elements. So you lose weight, people are going to treat you in a different way. You know, you might also be changing the way that you're interacting with the world, in the sense of like, I want to get healthier and I want to live longer. If your partner's on the same page, then all of a sudden that's an issue too. You know, there's a lot to it. By the way, the fucking good food that you made today, I'm kind of full still. I forgot how filling good food is. What did we have today? I had a couple of pieces of chicken quesadilla that you made with whole grain,
whole wheat wraps,
and
leftover
chicken.
rotisserie chicken, and freshly grated cheddar.
Yeah, and I had it with some chipotle hot sauce, and then you made me turkey, macaroni, and cheese, and it's like I'm
Lean turkey, whole wheat mac.
Yeah, like like I can eat right now, but I'm not hungry. That's crazy? We should eat
Today
better.
I had,
and the turkey mac is actually really good for some reason. Like
it is,
hidden.
but we burn out on it quick.
Yeah,
you know?
true. Yeah.
But today I had a stuffed pepper bowl, and you, minus the peppers and onions, I think you would like it. I have it with quinoa, quinoa, ground turkey, peppers and onions, tomato sauce,
maybe,
and mozzarella.
Yeah, I might like it.
It's so good.
Anyway, let's continue.
The northeastern section of the United States actually has a lower divorce rate than other sections of the U.S.
That makes perfect sense. I know why, but do you want me to tell you why I think it makes perfect sense?
You
have a theory on why?
Well, I'm wondering why. I'm like, is that because like there's less people,
more
because
money,
of
more education? Northeastern, she said. Yeah,
that's why I'm. Yeah, but Northeast for me is like Maine.
Northeast for me is New York. Yeah, for sure. We're in the Northeast.
Well, I know we're in the Northeast, but we're not the only ones in the Northeast.
No, but first of all, we have a very densely populated area, so we would be like a pretty significant amount of the statistics. And the tri-state area, very, very wealthy, very educated overall, of course, wealthy, educated, very densely populated. So it's pretty much New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut that is probably dominating that statistic.
But I would think like in the Midwest, nobody's getting divorced. Everybody is just unhappy forever, you know?
I don't think that's probably just not true. Statistically, not true. I'm sure there are people there, but like I think you're under the assumption that people who are religious follow their religious doctrine, and so they're like, yeah, let's just stay together, be miserable. I think that it's still happening. I think divorces are still happening.
For me, honestly, like my thought was like everybody is like poor. There's not a lot of people around. They're drunks.
Yeah, I
like,
would
they
say that
just kind of stay together and
I
cheat on each other.
That I was going to say they probably do cheat on each other a lot, but that probably adds a significant amount of turbulence to their relationship.
I'd be very interested in looking further into this statistic.
Yeah, we can. I'd say that lower income, less intelligent people have a higher chance of having a lot more sex, especially when you don't have anything to do. Like if you're not really working, like what the fuck, you're just gonna have sex, right? So
actually has a lower divorce rate than other sections of the U.S.
Okay.
If you have a lot of close friends that have been divorced, you're actually much more likely to get divorced yourself.
That makes sense.
It does make sense. I wonder why that is, though. Because there's different aspects. The immediate aspect, I think, if I'm sorry if I'm cutting you off, is that you saw your partner you saw your friend get a divorce, and they probably had a shitty marriage. So you guys probably talked a lot about that shitty marriage together, and it potentially made it seem worse than it was. And so you got that divorce, or you guys are so similar that you picked shitty men to be together, or one of you guys got into a relationship as some kind of almost passive competition. I think that's a woman thing. Like I could see women being more interested. Like I got to get my best friend has a guy. I want to be at that stage of my life. I want to have a kid. I want to be married. And I feel like women are more likely to jump the gun on getting married and trying to have a kid and push their life further than men do, because men are just walking around trying to come. That kind of makes sense.
Yeah, for me, I was thinking more of like either you're going to be surrounded by people talking about negatives in their relationship, so you're going to maybe see more negatives.
Right. Yeah.
Or or you might want a divorce and then get like not encouragement.
No, I get what you're
saying.
saying. No, you may have been thinking about it and your friend went through it. You're like, you know what? I'm going to do it too.
Yeah.
No, that makes perfect sense. There's still social pressures that would push you away from getting divorced. That makes perfect sense what you're saying.
But yeah, whereas like if everybody around you is married, I would think that you're more likely
to stay together.
I
would say more pressure wise, because here's the thing. If you have like, there's three groups, I'll say there's three couples and two of them are really happy and you're miserable. We've talked about this a little bit before. You're going to look at those, the other couples and the way they interact within themselves. And you're gonna be like, wow, I don't have that. I don't want to be with this person anymore.
Yeah.
But you might feel pressured to stay with them. But that does make perfect sense.
The more educated you are, the less likely you are to get divorced.
True, but it also increases the likeliness of the woman initiating. Is that interesting?
I'm sitting on it. I'm not ignoring. You're less likely to get divorced with more education.
Yeah.
What I'm thinking about is the why, though.
Probably multiple factors. I think that one, if you're more educated, you're probably better at reading people, being more emotionally intelligent, being able to pick a better partner. You probably waited until later to get. I'm assuming more from the woman's perspective, because when a woman has like more education, they wait longer, which is not a bad thing. They're more selective because they're focusing on their career. They'll probably get into a relationship later in their life, which I think lends to the length of time, because it's easier for you to like when you're fucking 30, you know? They have more money in their relationships. They have less stressors in their relationship. I would say that things like that. They're better at communicating because, again, they're more intelligent. Those women have the ability to walk away more easily. So those men feel like they need to be held to a little bit of a higher standard for themselves. I think that's another factor as well as a man. Like I'm going to be honest with you. If you didn't work when we first met, I might be a piece of shit. If I was like I think that as we get older together, I got to a point where I made a lot of money, I could support you and I would respect you as an equal. But when I was younger, like I'm not proud of it, but if I was like 22, 23 and I was making most of the money and I was with somebody that wasn't, I probably wouldn't respect them.
Yeah, I see that.
And then I would be more likely to cheat on them, you know?
Yeah, no, I think that well, sorry. I'm trying to think of like how to articulate myself because it's a very simple thought. But yeah, the reason why you and I work is because of who I am. You mean like literally
work or like work as
a couple? Okay, is because I have an education, because I have my own job, because I have my own aspirations for myself.
Yeah.
Like I need you, but like I don't need you. You know what I mean?
No, I know what you mean, and I respect you so that I don't want you to leave me, so I act better than I would. And I'm much more self-aware than I used to be, but I'm sure that in past relationships when I was the primary breadwinner, it's not intentional, but I probably respected that person less. those people. 'Cause it's been multiple occasions. I'm a fucking idiot enabler sometimes.
Like I have a very good. I don't know. I like my work ethic.
Yeah, you have a solid
Like because
ethic.
even if I wasn't literally working, like I still have just standards for myself.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely. You know what I'm looking forward to? It's a little idea we threw around, the potential of when you're pregnant, because we talked about it. Your baby, our baby, is gonna have a big fucking head and a big body because I'm fucking big, and my genetics are very, very dominant in my family.
So dominant. It's crazy.
Insane.
I saw a picture of his family the other day, and it was like like cousins I've never seen before, and his female cousins look more like, I don't know how to make this make sense. Your female cousins,
Yeah.
which are the daughters of your uncle, a guy,
Yeah.
right? They look more like your aunts than they do like a mix of their mother and father. So like your genes run very, very strong.
Yeah. Okay. I think I understand what you're saying.
Like it's crazy.
You mean they look like their aunts would be not related to us though. So that is what you're saying is I'm confused.
All the girls
Yeah.
look like your mother's sisters.
Oh,
rather than
I
looking
thought you
like
meant the
their
married
mother.
in aunts. You're talking about my
No.
biological aunts, like my
Yes.
mother. They look more like my mother than they do look like.
Their own mother.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy.
I had a family joke. I used to ask my mom if she fucked my Uncle Ed because I look so much like Uncle Ed. The only reason I know that it's not true is this is so weird, but my biological father has a bend in his pinky.
Or does he really?
My sister has it as well. That's the only reason I know that. And so I'm like, oh, I probably am actually related to my sister. But we've run very strong.
That's so crazy.
we're
Because
all
I've looked
very
at your
big.
bent pinky. Like I've noticed that.
Yeah, is that interesting? We're all all the men in my family are like 6'2" plus. They're usually pretty wide. Like I'm fat, but I mean
Stocky?
like stocky, like wide
Yeah.
shoulders, like wide everything. You know, we talk very similar. Me and Fred, very similar. I would argue that people in my family, frankly, have anger problems. It was so funny because I was talking to my mother, and we all mean well. Like I when people hear that and they get like, if people heard that and got upset, you're an idiot. Because I remember like my mother raised me by herself and she had struggles raising me, and sometimes she would hit me. That was very normal back then. And then she went to a therapist and they're like, you need to stop. She's like, oh, I didn't realize. You know what I mean? Like that's it. It's not like we don't do things that are intentionally bad or anything. But we all have kind of a little bit of anger problems. And I remember making that joke one time to my mom about how like we have anger problems. She's like, yeah, the kid. She almost said our last name. She's like, yeah, the men in our family. Yeah, if I did it is what it is. Yeah, the men in our family have a lot of anger problems. I said the men. I said the fucking women. What are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about? You too. All of them. You know it. You could feel the attitude in them. And it's interesting because I think most of the women in our family, biological like women, they're all like not in real. Like they've all the men are married and still in the same marriage. All the women some of them are married, some of them are not married, but like they've all gone through like either a divorce or like they've had a kid with somebody and they broke up. And I think it's because the women are very aggressive and bitchy and the men can be too, but we know how to deal with aggressive bitchy women. Because that's what it is. And I don't mean bitchy in like a negative way. You know how.
No, I'm a bitch.
But like it's like, okay, like this is what I've been dealing with my whole fucking life. So it's like, okay. It's just so interesting.
Yeah, I like your family. It's very interesting
Yeah.
dynamics.
They're very good
and very,
people, though.
very strong genes.
Very strong.
Seriously. It's wild.
I wonder if we all come with a distance, you know?
You should ask at the next family party.
I'll do it. I used to ask
I
my
almost
mom.
said the last name.
Stop.
At the Christmas party, we'll do it.
If you do it, I'm like, you're going to be so upset. You dox us.
You'll be upset at me.
And I probably won't be that upset. Hey, how's everybody doing? But our genetics are very strong. Yeah, that was pretty much it. Okay. Let's continue.
Divorce is really seasonal. Divorce
I was going to say, I feel like they're highest in the summer. Let's see.
rates are the highest in January and February.
This
every year.
makes so
from
much
Wait.
sense to me.
Why? So I would say that, like, for me, the summer makes the most sense for divorce because that's gooning season. That's like the season
Are you
where
being serious or are you being silly right now?
all jokes aside, like, yeah, no, in the summer, I'm hornier. And women are walking around with their tits and their asses out more because they're dressed in summer outfits. What?
Interesting. No, do you know why this makes sense to me?
Why?
Because
New Year's
January, what?
New Year's resolution?
No, because January is right after all the fucking holidays. of when tensions are high. And you know what? If you're pissing me the fuck off and we're having problems,
Okay.
and you know what? After Christmas, that's fucking it. I am fucking over it.
So you're saying like we're getting through Christmas and then we're gonna decide if we're together anymore.
Maybe
Wow.
Christmas is just the tipping point because holidays are stressful.
I guess
and
so,
you and I'm honestly very thankful for you. It was funny because I was listening to your stream the other day and you were going through all of the things that we go to celebrate Christmas and you didn't include all of them.
Why?
Because there's just because you forgot there's just so much that we do.
Yeah.
And so like that's one of the things I'm thankful for you about is that like you make sure that we get to all of those things.
Yeah.
Because if you put your foot down and you were like, we're not going to your father's family this year, that would be a problem. Or if either of us had like literal problems with like our family members where it would cause tension and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like that would be a problem. So imagine that all of those issues plus money issues and like how active are you as a parent, whether it be mother or father and stuff like that. Excuse me. So, and maybe there is like kind of a New Year's, not resolution aspect, but like New Year, new me, like I'm fucking done with this bullshit.
Yeah.
Type of thing.
That makes sense. I guess that's true. We do have a lot of family parties, but family is very important to me. That was like
There's so many family
that was
parties,
like
though.
drilled into my fucking head because my mother was like, I used to hate seeing my family. And she's like, family's important, family's important, family's important. She would drag me along, and then eventually, family's now important to me. That's how you raise kids. So,
Good news for millennials. If you're a millennial, you're much less likely to get divorced.
What the fuck is a millennial?
I think we are millennials. I'll look up the age range of a millennial. Age range of a millennial. 1981 to 1996. So
Oh wow, I just make it in there.
yeah, 27 to 42. So we're at like the end of the tip. You barely make it in there. It's not 27 to 42. This is a little dated, but you still make it in there by a year. Cool. What's else we got here?
And if you have
I mean, is that just because we haven't been married long enough? Because like millennials are somewhat new, right?
That makes
Maybe.
sense
But okay.
too.
Okay.
the same alcohol habits as your spouse, you're much less likely to divorce.
Nice.
I was just talking to my mom about this
we
yesterday.
really don't drink.
No, and that's what I was saying to my mom is that one of the reasons why I don't drink is because I love drinking.
Yeah.
And if I was with somebody who was a drinker, who was a
Are
smoker.
you Irish?
What?
You're Irish, yeah?
Yeah, very. If I was with somebody who was a drinker or a smoker, like I would 100% be down. Like if I had like a husband or whatever that like went to the bar, like I'd be in the bar with them, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I'm not a big drinker. I like drinking sometimes, but like I'm not a big drinker. I usually will drink, get really drunk fast, and stop, and then I'll just piss it out and I'll be done in like a half an hour.
Yeah, I actually just like poured out 3 cases of like seltzers and stuff.
Yeah, we don't need
because we
those.
just don't drink.
I'd
They
like
were
to drink some of that
expired.
whiskey or the moonshine that we got. That was stuff that looked really good.
Well, I'm thinking for one of our Vlogmas videos,
Oh,
we
God
might be
damn.
making cocktails.
Penis butts. I like them. All right. Well, that's the whole thing. That was kind of interesting, though, no?
Yeah.
I like how we turned a 52-second video into a 23-minute video.
Wow, wow, wow.
We're pretty impressive.